The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for mainly clear skies tonight, seasonably chilly with lows 30 to 35. Good deal of sunshine for tomorrow. Nice in the afternoon, mild with a high 62. Clear and mild for tomorrow night, lows 40 to 45. Breezy and warmer Monday, mostly sunny, high near 70. Nice and warm with some sun Tuesday, high again 70. I'm meteorologist Frank Streit for FM News Talk 97.1.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
Right now, BidOnline.STL.com is your place to save up to 70% on brand new items from this station's advertisers. It's your shopping destination for holiday gift ideas, wedding packages, furniture, vacations, Honda motorcycles, bed sets and mattresses, jewelry, even tattoo removal. Save up to 70%. Shop from area businesses like Overhead Door, Ted's Motorcycle World, Ankle and Foot Institute, Southern Armory, The Diamond Shop, and more. Right now, bid on items and services offered by our radio station's approved advertisers at BidOnline.STL.com.
Hey, it's Trisha here to tell you about my friends at Advanced Medical Weight Loss. Advanced Medical Weight Loss is a medically supervised weight loss clinic with effective plans for all weight loss goals. I'm currently on their HCG program. HCG is a natural hormone that burns the fat stored in your body. With the HCG diet, patients lose an average of 1 pound a day. It's not magic. It requires commitment and effort, but Advanced Medical Weight Loss is going to give you the tools and support you need to lose the weight in a short period of time. Testimonials at advancedmedicalweightlossrx.com. Give them a call today at 618-205-9275. That's 618-205-9275, and you'll get $97 off your program just by mentioning FM News Talk 97.1. AdvancedMedicalWeightLossRx.com.
I feel like my finances are where they need to be. I have a plan for what I'm spending and what I'm saving.
The Region's Next Step project is helping real customers like Sierra confidently take their next step in life.
So a few months ago, I sat down with Mandy. She's a banker at Regions Bank, and she really helped me to get my finances on track. She talked to me about using my Green Insights to set goals that I want to meet and to track them. And it gave me a 360 view of my finances.
Regions has innovative, easy-to-use tools to help you get where you're going in life.
I've been able to successfully pay down $2,000 of my student loan, so I'm really happy about that.
Paying down debt, saving towards a goal.
I finally feel like I'm on track to take my next step.
Regions bankers are helping real customers like Sierra take their next step in life. Ready to take your own? Regions Bank is right here in St. Louis. Call, click, or come by today. Regions Bank, member FDIC. Paid appearance by an actual Regions customer telling her real story.
Hey folks, Mark Cox here. We want you to join us in thanking first responders all this month. Each day we're going to recognize area police, fire, and EMT units to show support for what they do in the community. We want to raise awareness and say thank you for the difficult job they do every day. Listen to the show for the daily spotlight on our first responders. We encourage you to show your appreciation by donating to Responder Rescue. It's a locally based organization giving assistance to responders in need. Go to 971talk.com for more information and see how you can help.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
Everything I was thinking of just went out the window. It's not over because you on the nightly news said it's over.
You're talking too much logic here.
The Tim Jones Show.
The people are getting bombarded with a false media narrative.
They write the end of the story every single day, and that's all it is a story.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
The Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
Yeah, good evening. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you had a great one. Welcome to the Tim Jones Show here at FM News Talk 97.1. It is Sunday, November 26th. Ken, can you believe it? We are in the Christmas season.
I'll tell you, Mr. Speaker, it's been amazing the whole weekend with family and just the good cheer and all the food.
That's right. Yeah, I've continued to eat too much every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel good. My wife's like, well, you ate a lot again, you know?
Hey, that's the way it is.
I've been exercising, though, too. I've been running around.
Yeah.
Walked today, played golf, walked. We walked 18 holes, and beautiful day. Could not help but be outside today.
Amazing, yeah.
So shout out to my my crew out, the legends, the old guys. I play with the old guys. I can barely keep up with them, you know.
You call it the legends?
It's the country club. Well, they are legends.
Okay.
Yes, they are legends.
All right.
One of them is a former Big Red Cardinals football player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mike Woods.
Okay, yeah.
Remember Mike Woods?
Yeah.
I play golf with him. Isn't that cool?
That's pretty awesome.
He's a cool dude.
I mean, my dad and I would go see them play when I was younger.
We call him Woody.
Woody?
It's his nickname. Everybody has a nickname, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is. What do they call me? I don't know. Radio guy, maybe, you know. They get a kick out of the fact that I'm on the radio. They think it's great. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So shout out to my good buddies out there, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I had a great one. Ken said he did too. It's been a long weekend because I did a lot over the weekend, and a lot of it was with you all because I was here on Thanksgiving Day, speaking to many of you as I hosted Allman in the Morning for Jamie Allman, so he could have a full day off with his family, which I was happy to give him. Jamie was back for the Trample Cam on Friday. Not a lot of trampling this year. I think everybody trampled online this year.
Yeah.
They shattered all records this year online on Black Friday.
And they expect Cyber Monday to be like around $6.2 billion in sales or something.
Yeah. Do you do any shopping at all? Or do you avoid
online?
Yeah, online. Yeah, we did some. Yeah.
It was kind of actually a combination. We went to Menards for some kind of a thing for.
I love Menards.
Yeah, and then we got it online, and then they shipped it to the store. So,
if Menards would like to sponsor my show, I'd love that because I love
awesome.
Menards.
Yeah,
I can even sing the jingle.
Can you
save big money at Menards? See, there you go.
All right, call us.
Yeah. Hey, you can follow us lots of different ways. We're live right now, and if you miss any segment of the show, you can log in afterwards to 971talk.com. You don't have to log in. You just go to 971talk.com. I don't know where I got the login thing. We got to log into everything else these days, right? So just go to 971talk.com, and you can listen to the podcast. You can follow me on Twitter or Facebook at Speaker Tim Jones, at Speaker Tim Jones. We have the YouTube channel up. I think the cameras are on tonight, right?
Sure.
They're finicky little things, but
yeah, I ran around here to about a minute until airtime and fixed it.
They're all good. So you can go to the YouTube, go to youtube.com, and you can pull up the Tim Jones Show there. Or Ken has a page as well on Facebook, Ken J. Williams. We've got a great show tonight. I want to thank two of my guests who are coming in tonight for coming in at the end of the Thanksgiving weekend when no one else can hardly move because you've all eaten too much turkey and gravy and you're sleepy, as Adam Sandler says in the turkey song we played last week. We've got State Representative Phil Christofanelli. Good German name there. No. See if Ken's listening. No, Phil is my Italian brother from another mother. My mother's maiden name was Tuno. Everybody's like, Jones is not Italian. I go, yeah, but Tuno is. So, Phil's a great guy, great young representative. He represents the next era of common sense conservatives. But he's got more experience, and I'm sorry to say he's got a lot more experience than some of the folks in Jeff City because he interned for one of our U.S. congressmen for a while.
Oh, okay.
So when Phil walks in, you're going to think he's like the intern, and everybody teases him about that because he's a young man, but he's got lots of experience. He's wise beyond his years, as they say. So I wanted to have Phil in because there was all this insanity leading up to Thanksgiving about some of the things that our governor was doing that I fully defended the governor on and was happy to do so. Basically, the governor here in Missouri is being beat up for the same reason, and he's being beat up by the wrong people. He's being beat up by, well, maybe they're the right people because that means he's doing things right. The governor here in Missouri is being beat up by the Kansas City Red Star, the St. Louis Post-Disgrace, and all the left-wing lunatics because, like Donald Trump, he is doing during his governorship what he promised to do during the campaign.
So what he was elected for and people voted for.
And Governor Greitens, this was a very clear election in Missouri. And people now on the left, especially on my troll patrol, as I affectionately call all my Twitter abusers, I have gazillions of followers. Well, I have about 7,200. And then I have about 3,500, 4,000 on Facebook. So, we're over 10,000 followers. If I add in my LinkedIn page, we're close to 15,000. But anyway, all the people that follow me who are on the left, there's a couple Twitter bots, that I can think get paid by. They get a check from Soros, I think, every week in the mail. And it's the same 5 or 10 people. It's not like there's new people. It's like the same 5 or 10. I think some of them, and then some of them drop off, and I think they just get a new Twitter bot name. But anyway, they're all freaked out because the governor is doing things like standing up to the educrats and the education institution. He's trying to do education reform. So he's trying to get a state board of education that reflects what he stood for in the election. And Governor Greitens was very clear during the campaign, during the general election campaign, about what he was going to do. He talked about right to work, and Chris Koster said he was against it. He talked about education reform, and Chris Koster said, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that, but Chris didn't want to upset the teachers' unions too much. I think Chris Koster would have been good on education reform, but Eric Greitens was all in on that. He was all in on all of the common sense conservative things that have been in the pipeline forever. So now that he's trying to do these things, now that Governor Greitens, who was elected under a certain philosophy, was given a mandate here, now that he's trying to undo decades of bureaucracy that were not part of this mandate, the left-wing media is freaking out.
Right.
So Phil Christofanelli, I noticed this week, was also standing up for the governor on the education reform issue and on the tax credit reform issue. Two big things that the Missouri legislature is going to take on. And guess what? Bill filing. When we weren't looking, December 1st popped up on the calendar this week.
Wow.
I think it's this Thursday or Friday.
I think it's Friday.
Friday. Bill filing starts here in the state of Missouri, which means the legislature starts in barely a month, like a month and 5 days. So Representative Christofanelli will join us after this first break, and he's got lots to tell us about all the things that were happening that I mentioned last week, and of course, what are his priorities for the next legislative session. Then in the 8 o'clock hour, someone who I cannot believe it's been so long to have him back. I believe County Councilman Mark Harder was one of our first guests, our first show.
If not the first, yeah.
If not the first guest, back in June, the first week of June. It is now running into the first week of December. So he got a hall pass from his lovely wife to come out tonight, and he's going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. A lot of things going on in the county of St. Louis as well. We had the Galleria Mall shut down. And I'll talk to Phil Christofanelli about this, but I'll also talk to Councilman Harder. These state reps from the city that are all upset about the Stockley verdict from several months ago, who went and no justice, no peace, and shut them all down. During that same time period, perhaps they should have been protesting the night of carnage in the city of St. Louis, where we had more black-on-black crime, and where we have now pulled way ahead. We have 35 days left in the year, and we are ahead of the homicide totals from both 2016 and 2015 already.
It was 188 from those 2
Isn't
years.
that horrible?
Yeah. It's
and
horrible.
who's protesting those victims? Where are the protests?
Where are the knees?
Where's the anger? Where's the knees being taken? That's right. So while explain to me how shutting down the Galleria Mall addresses the real crime issue in this city, which is the black-on-black crime where we're approaching 200 homicides. I don't know that any of those were police involved. I think the strong, super majority of those are gang-related drug violence of black-on-black crime in the city of St. Louis. And it's a real shame because that's where we lack leadership. I had a lot of hopes for the Mayor Lyda Krewson regime, and my hopes are sort of like dust in the wind, as Kansas would say. So we have lots to break down, lots of great guests to get to. Nancy Pelosi did not like the questions that Chuck Todd was giving her today. You're going to wait till you hear this clip. It's priceless. But before we get to all of that, I think we should do a little Tim's Top 3 in a second here. Here we go.
Now, the Tim Jones Show presents
Tim's Top 3. Hey, I got a big announcement. Let me just say this first. Trump in town. Number 2,
wow.
The Missouri Legislature media meltdown that we'll talk to Representative Christofanelli about. And this could be the week, Ken. This could be the week. Will we get tax cuts now in Washington, D.C.?
It's a big question.
It's a big question. We'll try to answer that as well. So, Trump in town, Missouri Legislature media meltdown, and tax cuts now. Let me go back to the first one. Got a big announcement, Ken.
So are you the first to announce this, or what's going on?
I might be. I might be. So all our lucky listeners will be the first to know. And I don't have a lot of details. I have some details I can't release. I'm an insider, you know. So, no, I in all seriousness.
It's understandable, though.
In all seriousness, I spoke to some of my sources in the White House today, as in the White House, as in the White House in Washington, D.C. Spoke to some of my sources in Washington, D.C., and I'm here to report that the president, Donald J. Trump, will be in the St. Louis region this Wednesday, November 29th.
All right.
Yeah. Deserves a round of applause. Can we get a round of applause for that?
I just tried to nail it.
The audience had too much turkey as well. They're listening to the music. There they are. There they are. There. Woohoo! Yeah. So, I do know this, folks. It will be difficult to get tickets because this is not going to be a campaign event where they have it at like the Dome and 70,000 people can show up and they can fill the place. They're not going to do that. This is going to be very similar, I've been told, to the Springfield, Missouri event that I was blessed to go to with the Allman in the Allman Report folks. I almost said almost in the morning. The Allman Report folks, the TV folks, us, myself, Jamie Allman, Thad Kemlagi and the gang. We all went down there to Springfield. And that was back, I think, in September-ish.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
When the tax cut was coming out and being unveiled, at least the pillars of it were. It was at a private business, and this is going to be an official event. So the official events, I mean, the president in Missouri could fill the Dome, the old Edward Jones Dome. He could fill it, the America Center. But this is going to be a quick in-and-out thing. He's coming to Missouri to help put the push on the push on the final push for the tax cut plan, which is coming out of the Senate committee. The Senate bill is, and this is going to be a big week. I think he's also going to be putting the screws to old Senator Claire McCaskill, coming here back to Missouri and saying, Senator, could use your help. You're up for election next year. What's it going to be? You're going to stand with Missourians who want tax relief for middle-income, hardworking Missourians and Missouri's small businesses, or do you not? So I don't think it's a mistake that the president's coming back here, because Senator McCaskill is still playing her little McCaskill games.
She flies under the radar a lot.
Chameleon Claire, as we call her. Yes, she does. So President Donald J. Trump is coming to St. Louis. You'll need to stay tuned to this station for further details. I believe we will get some more details probably tomorrow. I can just tell you this. The event will be in the St. Louis, St. Charles region. It will be an official event, which means tickets and access will be limited because the president will literally be coming in, giving a speech, and leaving. So it's not like a long, protracted rally where it's like a 2-hour event and all that. I mean, I was at the Springfield event. And when you're moving the president around the country, it has to be that way, especially for these official visits. And this is to talk about a serious. This is not to do the whole campaign rah-rah. It's to say, this is something I ran on, and now it needs to get done. And he's going to come and he's going to seriously ask for Senator Roy Blunt's support, Congresswoman Ann Wagner's support, Blaine Luchtemeyer's continued support. I'm sure, I know that Ann Wagner, Blaine Luchtemeier, I think our entire Republican congressional delegation, I would know if they didn't, supported the bill in the House. I know Senator Blunt supports the bill in the Senate. I don't know where Claire McCaskill stands on any of this, because this is how she rolls. So, big, important times, and I think it's cool that the president is coming here to our hometown to talk about that. So, big week this week in Missouri for the nation, for the world, because American leadership is being put to the test, and I think we've got the right leader in the White House for this mission. This is Tim Jones. You're listening to The Tim Jones Show. We are live all night tonight on the tail end of this very happy Thanksgiving Day weekend. I hope you had a great one with your family and friends, and I hope you ate too much turkey as well, because we sure did. We'll be back with Missouri State Representative Phil Christofanelli right after this.
This is The Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1, 98.7, and AM 1490. Or streaming live at 971talk.com and the 97.1 mobile app. Right now at bidonlinestl.com, save up to 70% off brand new items offered by 97.1 advertisers. Bidding is now open on great items from the Loft Banquet Center, Dynamic Chiropractic, the Bedroom Store, the Ankle and Foot Institute, Mattress Direct, the Sound Room, and more. All at bidonlinestl.com.
You can now afford a beautiful Volvo SUV. Hi, this is Stephen Lynch, General Sales Manager at Suntrup's West County Volvo. Now is the time to save thousands on a new Volvo. Enjoy remarkable pricing on our remaining 2017s. This week only, the 2017 Volvo XC60 SUV are up to $10,000 off. And the larger SUV, the XC90, save up to $8,900. Or take advantage of one of our aggressive lease opportunities, the 2017 S60, $329 down, only $329 a month. Or slide into the spacious interior of the new 2018 S90, $439 down, $439 per month. Suntrup West County Volvo has a large selection of Volvos and superior service you have come to expect. Visit Suntrup West County Volvo today at 14410 Manchester, just 3 miles west of 270, or go online at wcvolvo.com. 36-month leases, first payment due at signing, plus tax, title, license, acquisition, dealer fee, no security deposits, subject to VCF approval, expires 11/30.
Hey, Tim Jones here again for Universal Windows Direct. UniversalWindowsDirect.com, 314-547-2600. You've heard me talking about all the perks of buying your windows from my guys at Universal Windows Direct. What about the ways they're going to make your home more beautiful? With Universal Windows Direct, you get to choose from, they've got this extensive variety of products beyond windows. They've got siding, doors, gutters, roofing, attic insulation. You can finally have that home that looks the way you've been dreaming about. It's not going to break your bank because they've always got this amazing offer, and it is for a limited time, but it's buy one window, get the next window free. No limits. For every window you buy, you're getting the next one free. 2 for the price of 1. Down the line. 0% financing for 36 months. Free installation. I want you to call now to schedule your free home estimate today. You can also go to universalwindowsdirect.com anytime. 314-547-2600. universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Smartphone, can you access my wife's smartphone and find out what she wants for Christmas?
Let me check that for you. Her recent searches include diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond bracelets. Is that enough of a hint?
Diamond jewelry, huh? Which store comes up in those searches?
You don't need a smartphone to know that answer. It's Diamonds Direct, of course. No middleman prices. Highest quality jewelry. Unbeatable selection. Surely you've heard about them on the radio. Geez, pal, you want me to download the commercial for you too?
Make this the best Christmas ever with something special from Diamonds Direct. From $200 to $200,000, we have an unbeatable selection of dazzling diamonds and fashion jewelry. And now through the end of December, you can make any purchase and spread your payments out over 3 years with 0 interest. And if you're popping the question over the holidays, we have an expanded selection of GIA certified diamonds from a ½ carat up to 10 carats in stock at the guaranteed best prices in America. Diamonds Direct with expanded hours including Sundays now till Christmas. Olive and 270 at City Place.
President Trump is enduring the most turbulent presidency in recent history, creating a period of economic uncertainty, reminding investors of 2008, when some lost as much as 50% of their retirement accounts. Protect your family's financial future with a gold IRA from Augusta Precious Metals. A gold IRA is an ultimate hedge against economic uncertainty because precious metals are a true wealth asset that hold their value. Call Augusta today at 855-858-5807 and receive your free gold IRA kit. That's 855-858-5807.
Have pain you can't ignore? Then try first-in-class relief from Salonpas. Salonpas pain relief patches have everything you need in one clinically proven solution. They're the strongest label pain reliever available without a prescription, safely relieving pain for up to 12 hours. And Salonpas is the first and only FDA-approved OTC topical pain reliever. For first-in-class relief, get Salonpas pain relief patches in the green box with a blue wave.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
North Korea as a state sponsor of terrorism.
Charlie Rose suspended sexual misconduct.
I'm sorry for shoplifting.
The father of one of the Americans.
Say thank you.
I would say thank you if he would have put him on his plane and took him home.
Stay connected.
A huge tax cut.
I have seen Jeff Flake stand up.
Calling each other out.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Come the party of Roy Moore and Donald Trump. We already host.
Younger, smarter.
I wish him well.
Better.
Rusty barbed wire lines, these
This is The Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Though the media has been loath to report this fact, 2017 has been a banner year for the U.S. economy. An incredible comeback from President Obama's anemic non-recovery recovery. The Economist this week notes that blue-collar wages are rising. As unemployment tumbles, wage growth among factory workers, drivers, and builders now exceeds 4%. Theirs is growing faster than the wages of professionals and managers. And when you dig deeper, there's even better news. The trades are thriving. Some building contractors are seeing their wages grow by double digits year over year. That is great news.
It is great news, and it's probably the worst news for the left and the Democratic Party because it's their worst fear is coming true that Donald Trump's having a successful presidency. So
it's unavoidable. If he's having a great year, great presidency, they can't deny it eventually.
And if we when we start exceeding 3% GDP growth, they're not going to be able to hide from it. And I don't know what. I guess that's why they keep having to throw the racist bomb and they're going back to the Billy Bush tape because they're like, well, look, the president said some things too, because Al Franken and the dominoes keep falling. And John Conyers, the ranking Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, had to step down because of sexual harassment charges. You would think somebody on the Judiciary Committee would know better, but
right.
Maybe they don't. I don't know. Somebody who knows lots of things better joins me in studio now, and he is State Representative Phil Christofanelli from the great county of St. Charles. Phil, thanks for joining me tonight.
Great to be here, Tim.
You were in this studio, you said, many moons ago, right?
Yeah, back when I was in college.
In college?
Yeah, wow.
which you just got out of a year ago, right?
Yeah, 5, but pretty close.
Well, welcome back to the overly ostentatious studios of FM News Talk 97.1.
It's great to be here.
So good to have you here. So Phil, I know lots of folks in St. Charles know you, but we have a vast, wide listening audience that stretches all across the Midwest here. So let's introduce you to folks. Even though you are young, and you told me you often get mistaken for somebody's intern in the state capitol.
It's happened before.
You possibly have more experience than a lot of folks there due to term limits because you interned on Capitol Hill.
I not only interned, I was a press secretary for a member of Congress.
Oh, that's right. I demoted you. You actually were you were a paid staffer.
I was. For 3 or 4 years, I worked for a member who represented the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It was an incredible learning experience in Washington, D.C. I've also done a lot here in Missouri, worked on a lot of campaigns, served on the Missouri Republican State Committee and State Executive Committee, and I'm just dedicated to helping good conservatives join me in the House of Representatives now in my service in St. Charles County.
Great. And as you were, I told folks as you were probably walking in here from the parking lot that you are wise beyond your years. And I think your experience is a good thing because with term limits, we don't have a lot of folks who walk in knowing what the heck a bill is or how to file one.
Right, yeah. I had a lot of legislative training up until the point that I joined the House of Representatives, then I gained even more. I'm also kind of a policy nerd, so back when I was at WashU, I spent every week down at the Show Me Institute during their book club learning as much as I could about how we could advance free market policies here in our state and make our state more competitive with the states around us. I've carried that knowledge with me in the House, and I'm trying to implement it every day that I'm there.
Well, that's one of the reasons you and I know each other very well, and we've talked a number of times. I took me 6 months to get you in the studio, but we've talked about it before. But you caught my attention this week, and you reminded me I need to get you in here because you do fight fire with facts. Right. And you definitely, which is brilliant because it's not just a war. It's not just some kind of, back and forth name calling with you on Twitter. You use social media very effectively. Being a millennial, you understand it. You know how to use it. You've embraced it, and you definitely you're a hard guy. I think you're a hard guy to argue with because you use a lot of facts and figures, and that's what the left likes to. They always like to go down the emotional route, right?
Sure.
And that would be great if money grew on trees and we could just give everybody everything they want at all the time. But they always forget where this money's coming from. And it's coming from taxpayers.
Right. Yeah, what I remind people is we have a balanced budget amendment in the Missouri Constitution, and if you want to spend more in one place, you either need to raise more revenue, which means that has to go to the voters in the form of a ballot proposition through a tax increase, which we've rejected time and time again, or you have to come up with another program to cut, and very rarely can they point to either one of those two things as an option.
Phil, you caught my attention specifically on two issues this week, and I want you to explain what this is all about, because you're all about to start filing bills this week, and you're going back into session like January 3rd. It's right around the corner, and I think both of these things are going to be a battle, and to me, they are philosophical battles for our time. And one, definitely, because it's for our children. It directly affects our children. It's something that I had to get educated on because I went through all private schools. That's what my parents, scraped and scrapped and put money together to send my sister and brother and I through private schools. But my wife went through all public schools. So I got a great education from her, and also from Senator Jane Cunningham, who was my predecessor and mentor on education reform. And the governor this week, Governor Eric Greitens, state of Missouri, just was getting he defended himself extremely well, and you helped, and so did so many others. But he was getting all this fire from the Kansas City Red Star and the Post disgrace. So I knew the governor was doing the right thing because the Post and the Star said he wasn't. What is this deal with the State Board of Education and this battle going on in that bureaucracy?
Right. Well, first let me say, if the liberal media and the education establishment both have their hair on fire because what you're doing in Jefferson City, you're probably on the right track. And Governor Greitens in this case absolutely is. We have a State Board of Education which has been packed with many years for Nixon appointees. They pick our Commissioner of Education, which is essentially the Education Secretary of the state of Missouri. So their pick's still in there. And Eric has been working to fill the vacancies on that committee and to pick an education commissioner that actually shares our conservative values of education choice and a new direction that the voters spoke for overwhelmingly last November. And so he has been filling that committee and pushing for a new education commissioner, but the education establishment has pulled out every backstop to try to delay this change to keep their person in there.
Yeah, I see and hear a lot of frivolous arguments being thrown about by people who claim to be on the right as well as definitely the leftists make this argument. But why in the world? What sense does it make for this governor's been in office for almost a full year? He was elected by a clear majority, 6 to 7 points, okay, of Missourians. This governor was once again given a supermajority of Republicans in the legislature. In what world does the chief executive of a state or a country not have the right to put his own people in place to run his departments?
Right. The Democrats have lost virtually every election in the state of Missouri, but they still want to run all our schools. And the governor is finally willing to stand up and say that we're going to stop doing the status quo. We're going to try new, bold, innovative approaches that have worked in a number of other states around the country, and we're going to deliver on the education promises that we've made to our kids.
You know, you're right, Phil, because if the Democratic policies that were in place in this state for the 50 years plus leading up to the Republican takeover in 2004, which was not that long ago, and all the money in the world, if all that was working, then the city of St. Louis schools, who get more money per pupil than any other school district in the state and are run by Democrats from top to bottom, they should be the top performing schools in the state, but they're not.
Absolutely. Money is a part of the equation, but it's not the only answer. And if money were the only answer, we're spending more than a lot of states around the country, and we're getting results that are not to that level. So we need to take a new comprehensive approach where we look at competition in schools, where we look at holding failing schools accountable, where we look at holding failing teachers accountable. We need to focus on actually delivering results for our kids instead of trying to protect these institutions that have existed across our state for many, many years.
And I know, Phil, that most of the fire comes against these changes come from the left and come from the Democratic Party. However, I know you're more than happy to run as a Republican and bear the Republican mantle, and you agree with the platform, as do I. But I think, like me, you generally these days kind of call yourself a conservative first and Republican second, because we have some people in our party that aren't willing to stand up to the teachers' unions or the to the education establishment either, do we?
No, that's absolutely true. And the state of Missouri is unique. We have over 550 school districts. Each of those school districts has a superintendent in it that's making in the six figures, sometimes over
which a lot of people don't know.
A year. Right, yeah. And those are huge power brokers in rural communities across these states. They work very hard to get their people into office, and they don't care whether they have an R or a D next to their name. They care whether they're willing to protect the education establishment. And overcoming those blockades in Jefferson City, I know it was a barrier during your time as Speaker, but it's still a barrier today, and that's what we're fighting.
Well, I want to thank you for joining with Governor Greitens on this issue, and I know many of your other colleagues do as well out there in St. Charles. Representative Schroer, Senator Onder, Senator Eigel, Representative Spencer has been fighting this battle for a long time. He's a current teacher in a private school. He was in public school district till they kicked him out because they didn't like his opinion.
Rebecca Raver out in Kansas City.
Yep,
is
Rebecca
a very
Raver.
Strong teacher. That's good on education
Cherie
reform.
Reich, right, in Columbia,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of you all. You're not just in the suburban areas. Like Cherie's out in Columbia. You know,
that's true.
One last thing, and then we'll go to a break here in a second. Is this caught my attention too? So we once again had one of the most violent evenings in St. Louis over the Thanksgiving Day weekend. There was at least one person killed, and one person is too many. And there was 8 injured, which brings our homicide total within the small confines of just the city of St. Louis up to over 180 people, I believe, killed this year. Predominantly gang-related, drug-related, fill-in-your-related, black-on-black crime. And we have a Missouri state representative who is, I think, from one of these areas where someone got shot and or killed. And he's out at the Galleria Mall protesting Lord knows what now, months after the Stockley verdict's been done.
It's really sad, Tim, because the reason people turn to crime, the reason people turn to drugs is a lack of economic opportunity. And we're working in Jefferson City to turn this state around, to create jobs and opportunity. And meanwhile, there are state representatives in our state who are going to shopping centers where people have low-income to middle-income jobs. They're disrupting their day of work. They're disrupting commerce, and they're creating more of the problems that we're trying to fight. And I'm really disappointed with the actions that some of my colleagues have taken. Some of them have been arrested. And, it says in House rules that if you're committing crimes, you're subject to disciplinary action from the House of Representatives. But I've yet to see any action taken yet.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the Ethics Commission in Missouri to maybe get to work like the one in D.C. needs to do. And Representative, isn't it true that, if the city had more shopping malls and more school reform, they might have less of these problems because they'd be giving children something to do. Number one, with the right education system, they'd be preparing them properly for a brighter tomorrow. And then with more shopping malls or stores or factories or whatever, they'd have an opportunity for prosperity.
Absolutely, Tim. I truly believe that no one really wants to live a life of crime. No one really wants to engage in drug sales. They do it because there's not a lot of other choices out there. But we're trying to create more opportunities in this state, bring new businesses here. It would be great to have Amazon here. It would be great to have a number of new industries in our state and give people a productive outlet where they can provide for their families.
Absolutely. He is Missouri State Representative Phil Christofanelli. He's going to stick around for me for one more segment. We're going to talk about the other big hot issue of the week that blew up all over social media and with the governor's office. That's on tax credit reform. We'll talk about why that's important, along with what are Representative Christofanelli's priorities for next year. Next year is right on our doorstep. Tim Jones here on the Tim Jones Show. We'll be here for another hour and a half or so. So keep the dial right here. We have lots more to get through, including, yes, I know you're on the edge of your chair wondering how and why Nancy Pelosi berated Chuck Todd today. It's great stuff. We'll bring that to you more when we come back here at FM News Talk 97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
This liberal will be all about taking over and the government running all of your companies.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Frank Lita Acura. With 0.9% financing going on now. Can't beat a Lita. Online at litaacura.com.
Right now at Jaguar St. Louis, during the Unwrap a Jaguar sales event, lease the premium 4-door all-wheel drive Jaguar XE for just $299 a month with zero down. GQ calls it the best entry-level luxury car in the world, and it can be yours for just $299 a month at Jaguar St. Louis in Creve Coeur and JaguarSt.Louis.com. Only 3 left at this price. Zero down. $299 lease for 39 months plus taxes and fees. 10,000 miles per year. Call 314-301-1700 for details.
Right now, BidOnline.STL.com is your place to save up to 70% on brand new items from this station's advertisers. It's your shopping destination for holiday gift ideas, wedding packages, furniture, vacations, Honda motorcycles, garage doors, even tattoo removal. Shop from area businesses like Randy's Jewelry, Fun Time Limo, Liberty Fence, The Sound Room, 18 North Central, The Bedroom Store, and more. Right now, bid on items and services offered by our radio station's approved advertisers at BidOnline.STL.com.
It doesn't matter where you live in the bi-state area, affordability of utilities is serious for many seniors, disabled, and poor people trying to stay warm each winter.
Lack of money often results in unsafe methods of heating their dwellings. HeatUpStLouis.org takes 100% of your online donations to stop disconnections or help reconnect utility services.
Need has no geographic boundaries. This is Melanie DeLeo, Chair.
This is Reverend Early Nance Jr. Help HeatUpStLouis.org.
Please make a donation.
Contractors, meeting with your customers can be difficult. Making time to actually sit down and go over product and color selections is tough when your suppliers close by 5 p.m. every day. Only Arrowhead Building Supply has your solution. We've built mind-blowing, beautiful showrooms that are professional and convenient. We now have new store hours until 8 p.m. weekdays and noon on Saturdays. Arrowhead has also built private contractor presentation rooms for you. These feature large LED televisions and product video libraries so you can show your customers how products will look and what to expect. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
An important message from Medicare.
It's Medicare open enrollment now through December 7th.
Time to go online and look at all your Medicare plan choices.
Like prescription drug plans and Medicare Advantage plans from private insurers.
Look for lower costs, more benefits. I'm open to that.
Every year, plans change. So can your health needs.
Open to something better? Start today. Use the tools at Medicare.gov.
Or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve, as they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at FindWW.
Harvey Weinstein.
These stories coming to light now.
The hypocrisy reeks.
My husband.
Bill Clinton.
Grabbing, groping, touching.
Bill Clinton raped you.
Yes.
Sean Hannity.
What nonsense.
Weeknights 7 to 9.
Now think about that. On FM News Talk 97.1.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Leader Pelosi, unfortunately for time, I got to end it there. I appreciate you coming on.
You mean we're not even going to talk about taxes? See, you have fallen into the place where they are doing something that's going to increase the debt enormously. It's going to be a job killer, and it's going to raise taxes on the middle class. And that has a big impact on the individual lives of all Americans.
I almost feel bad for Chuck Todd.
And really, we should be spending more time on that.
Do you think this other issue isn't as serious?
I think it's enormous. Look, as a woman, mother of 4 daughters, I think it's enormously important. But I think that we have to have a balance in how we go forward, because I
struggle with this myself every day.
This is giving them cover. There's so many reasons that we should be concerned about the Republican majority in Congress.
I am going to be asking a Republican across the aisle some of these questions in a few minutes. Anyway, Leader Pelosi, I have to leave it there. I appreciate it.
That's disappointing. But anyway.
There you go, Ken. There's another stinger for you.
Oh,
well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we played Old Blue Eyes. That goes out to my beautiful bride, Suzanne, from Old Green Eyes, me. It's the Christmas season, right?
That was your wife's request, right?
That was my wife's request, so I always do what my wife asked me to do.
There you go.
She's like gagging right now. She's like, that's not true at all. You know, so. But it's the Christmas season. I refuse to play Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
And we don't have, well, we have Christmas lights up on the house, but I didn't turn them on until after, and now I got to put all the other stuff away, so. I don't know, you with me, Phil? Or are you somebody who starts listening to Christmas music on November 1st?
You know, I was playing my guitar today, warming up those Christmas songs.
Okay.
So I'm with you.
There you go. There you go. So, being that you and I are fellow Italians, although my name is Jones, my grandfather's name was Tuno. I always have to say that. You a big Sinatra fan? Do you ever have you gotten into Frank at all?
My dad listened to it. My grandparents listened to it.
Yeah.
We were making ravioli all weekend.
Nice.
Played a little Frank. Played a little. I play opera to my sauce. It makes it come out better.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, I like Frank too. My grandfather, I remember there used to be some show he would listen to on Sunday afternoons. He'd turn on his little transistor radio. My grandpa Freddie. His name was Fernando, but when he went through Ellis Island, they couldn't pronounce it, so they changed it to Freddie, so it became Fred.
They couldn't get Fernando, but I guess they nailed Christofanelli.
Yeah, how'd they get Christofanelli out?
That's an age-old mystery myself.
They didn't shorten it, nothing.
No, you know, as far as I know, it was Christofanelli.
Kept all your vowels.
Yeah, I got more than enough if anybody needs something.
You can buy a vowel. Yeah, so Grandpa Tuno used to listen to, he had this little transistor radio. I can still see it. And there was some show on Sunday afternoons, real Italian music, you know, like the stuff from the motherland, you know, and he used to listen to that. It was a couple hours, and he would always, I remember he listened to it once out in our, we used to have a big yard up in Crescent, Missouri, which is unincorporated area of St. Louis County, and we'd sit out there in summertime, and he'd have that on, man. It was just like, it was great, man. It was like a scene out of The Godfather or something, you know. It was, old Grandpa Tuno. I miss him a lot. He's a great guy, and I learned a lot from him. He used to grow tomatoes. And he had a little house in a subdivision, you know, down South County. Grew tomatoes up on the thing, so you know, up in the backyard. It's great.
You know, it's interesting. My grandparents, both of them had less than an 8th grade education, but they went really far in life, and we're doing so much better now as a country. And everybody's, you know, K through 12, and we've made such progress. And I think
it's American dream, right? Every generation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you have a huge family, big Italian family here in St. Louis? Or are they kind of all spread all over the place? Or
we're kind of spread out now. A lot in Chicago, some in Central Illinois, some here in St. Louis, and we still try to make a point to get together at least once or twice a year. You know.
Good for you. That's awesome. Yes, I come from those big Italian German families as well, and my dad's side, the Scotch-Irish, so, you know, there's no passion in us at all, you know, so. Short fuses.
I was going to say, my mom is a Scotch-Irish, my dad's Welsh.
Yeah.
But they loved Old Blue Eyes. I mean, all the time.
Well, who couldn't? I mean, he's just such a great dude. So, Phil, hang on a second. I'm going to ask you about tax credits, but I need to do this or I will completely forget to do it. So we have a little segment we do every week called Media Malpractice, and I got a gem for you this week from none other than CNN, of course. So, Ken, let's do a little media malpractice.
Now, the Tim Jones Show presents...
Someone believes some fake news story.
Especially by the media.
This is very dangerous to America.
The corporatist, globalist media.
Media Malpractice.
True or false? It can be a challenge to cover the things President Trump says and tweets, because much of it is actually in a murky gray area, somewhere in between a truth and a lie. So we tried creating a spectrum of all the ways he shades the truth through omissions, fibs, half-truths, and others. Now, this could apply to other public figures as well, but let's start by applying it to the president.
Oh, of course. Of course we're going to start by applying it to the president because they can't stand this president. So, Phil, this clip was today, and it was CNN's Brian Stelter. So what you couldn't see, of course, because we're on radio, there was a graphic. They had like a truth-o-meter, okay? And it went from truth to lie. And they had all this gray area. And, you know, Phil, I don't remember any of this regarding President Obama, and he told some whoppers during his 8 years.
No, absolutely not. There's two standards of truth for this country, one for Democrats, one for Republicans.
That's probably true. As we're seeing now with all the sexual harassment stuff, right? It's like, thank goodness the women who are the victims of this are not doing this in a political lens. They're saying, look, I don't care if it was a Republican, I don't care if it was a Democrat, I'm gonna tell my story, okay? Right. But the Democrats keep wanting to shift the blame back to the Republicans.
Yeah.
Whereas the Republicans are kind of like, okay, we'll own it, like we always do.
Right.
We, it's just like they have because they have no moral compass. Okay, Republicans have a moral compass, right? But that doesn't mean we're all saints, and nobody ever sins. But it seems like the Democrats don't want to have a moral compass at all.
Right, and because we have values, we can fall short of them, and we're held to a different standard as a result. And
it's just what happens, right? So, absolutely. Well, shifting gears back to the Missouri legislature, the other big battle I saw on social media this week that you were helping wage and helping the governor with, and this is something I will admit, I had a difference of opinion on this, but I should be able to change my mind like everybody else. Tax credits. Now, you're probably even more conservative on them than I are. I think there needs to be some reform and so on and so forth. But, I don't set the agenda up there anymore. I just talk about it and help and urge people to see both sides of things.
Sure.
I do think our tax credit programs need some reform. And I actually voted for that. That's what everybody forgets. I voted for a significant tax credit reform bill, I think in 2012 or 2013, that eliminated a ton of programs, reined the biggest cost drivers in. Guess what it did, Phil?
Died in the Senate.
It died in the Senate, yeah. You're a smart man after being there for only 1 year. So talk about what's going on now. The issue kind of died down. It is flared back up big time now.
Sure. Well, everybody's heard it. We've heard time and time again, these programs need reform. Programs need reform. We've heard it for nearly a decade, Tim, and the folks in Jefferson City simply have not got the job done. So the governor has a commission. They got together, and that commission approves whether these tax credits will be issued or not. It was several $100 million in tax credits for a low-income housing program that both auditors, Tom Schweik, who's a Republican, and Natalie Galloway, and several other Democrats have called out as ineffective, inefficient, and not actually delivering on what they promised. In fact, they've said that only 42 cents on the dollar of what the state invests in these programs actually goes to low-income housing. So the governor said simply that enough is enough. We're not going to issue them. We're done. And that is the type of bold leadership that the people voted into office last November. And, the Jefferson City chattering class is clutching their pearls over this move. But
because someone's getting in their pocketbook.
Exactly. But this is the type of leadership that I expect and that I voted for when I went and voted for Eric Greitens last November.
And the people that defend these, and hey, I used to be a defender of these, but then, like I said, I did vote for a reform bill. I started evolving my opinion on these things. And, maybe they don't need to go away entirely, but I think they need reform because here's the stat that I throw at people who defend these and they don't know what to say. Phil, I believe on the low-income housing tax credit program and on the historic tax credit program, we lead the country in credits granted every year. Absolutely. Shouldn't we then be leading the country in job creation and economic development? We're not.
No, absolutely not. And that's because these programs aren't working. So instead of, let's look at these multi-billion-dollar programs and see where we can tinker around the edges. Why don't we start from zero and work our way back up to a program that actually works? And I think that's really where we're sitting at now. As a legislature, we have this extra money that we can now take a look at, and we could try to craft a program that actually delivers on what we're promising people. But unless someone intervenes and changes the status quo and what has been happening for many years, there's simply not the political will among people in Jefferson City to actually make a change on these issues. So I'm happy with what the governor did.
Awesome. Hey, Phil, we got about 1 minute left. Give me 2-3 things that you want to see the legislature work on next year, their priorities years.
Absolutely. Well, across the board, education reform, labor reform, tort reform is going to be the focus. We have so much more to do there. I personally am going to be taking a look at special taxing districts. There's over 2,200 of these special taxing districts that have popped up across the country, across the state in the last 10 years. Primarily, most of them have come out. They're pushing sales tax rates up above 10% in many areas right here in St. Louis and in other parts of the state. We need to say enough is enough with some of the special taxing districts. I'd like to see a cap. 10% was good enough for Jesus. It's good enough for me.
I love it.
And we need to rein these in.
Here on a happy Sunday. And Phil, you're right. It's something we do need to get to for sure all across the board. So thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you coming on a holiday weekend.
This was a blast.
Yeah, you were great. We're going to definitely have you back again. That is Missouri State Representative Phil Christofanelli from the beautiful county of St. Charles. I'll be back right after the top of the hour. We got lots more ahead, including County Councilman Mark Harder.
gather near to us.
Trade up at Suntrop.
When you trade up to a new Nissan, you trade up to a tremendous deal.
Dump that old car and get into a new Nissan at great Suntrop savings. Black Friday lasts all month long with low lease payments on all remaining 2017 Altimas. Now just $177 a month. Or get a Suntrop Sentra lease for $127 a month.
And you can get both with just $17 down.
Trading up at Suntrop has never been easier.
We won't waste your time, and we'll give you more for your trade.
At Suntrop Nissan, we work hard to get you approved for credit. Just talk to the Suntrop Super Crew, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you the credit you deserve.
We know you work hard, and we'll work even harder to make it easy for you to get into a dependable new Nissan. So get in here and
trade up at Suntrop. Trade up at Suntrop.
Offers on approved credit, 36-month leases, $17 down plus $595 acquisition fee. No security deposit includes rebates and incentives. Ultimate VIN HC 221762. Centra VIN HY 374092. 2 or more of each of these prices plus detail on down to manufacturing refinancing new loan.
Don't wait for Black Friday. Shop us right now at SuntropNissan.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brook Linen. They are a linen company. They do sheets and comforters and pillowcases and duvet covers and things like that. And they reached out to me and because of the success I've had with their friends at Harrys.com. It's a very similar story where this couple who started Brook Linen, Vicky and Rich, stayed at a nice hotel and they slept on this great bedding. And the next morning they're checking out and they made a joke like, "Hey, I wish we could buy that bed linen." And they said, "You can. It's $800." And they laughed and they went to breakfast. Then they checked into it and they realized that with all bedding, there's so many middlemen that they could get you better bedding, higher quality, higher thread count at a fraction of the cost by simply doing it themselves. They're the fastest growing bedding company in the world, 12,000 five-star reviews. I can get you $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Glover at brooklinen.com. BROOKLINEN. Everything's guaranteed. Check it out, brooklinen.com.
Have pain you can't ignore? Then try first-in-class relief from Salonpas. Salonpas pain relief patches have everything you need in one clinically proven solution. They're the strongest label pain reliever available without a prescription, safely relieving pain for up to 12 hours. And Salonpas is the first and only FDA-approved OTC topical pain reliever. For first-in-class relief, get Salonpas pain relief patches in the green box with a blue wave.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm 1 out of every 5 children in America and I'm struggling with hunger.
Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help.
Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America.
KFTK FM, Florissant. KFTK AM East St. Louis. K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A busy week ahead on tax reform. I'm Debbie Handley, Fox News. As Congress returns from the holiday break, senators plan to get back to work on tax reform policy.
Less than a month remains for Congress to meet a presidential deadline for tax reform legislation. The House has already passed its version. GOP Senator John Thune of South Dakota said on Fox News Sunday, as the Senate ramps up discussion again, there will be several questions being asked.
What does this do to growth in the economy? Is this a pro-growth tax bill? Will these policies generate faster growth and higher-paying jobs and more government revenue?
Democrats are skeptical, citing assessments saying the GOP plan will add trillions to the federal deficit. They hope enough Republicans will agree and help defeat the bill. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Egyptian residents are still wondering what exactly happened in the deadliest terrorist attack in its history.
As Egyptians mark a weekend of mourning for the people killed on Friday, authorities there now getting a better picture of what happened in the small village of Bir al-Abed. Around noon on Friday, more than 24 well-armed militants waving ISIS flags attacked the Al-Rada Mosque, first setting off a bomb and then gutting down many of the 500 or so worshippers who were trying to flee to safety. This attack shows just how easily ISIS, though, is able to operate in the Sinai Desert, and just how ineffective Egyptian security forces are. in Jerusalem. Connor Powell, Fox News.
Tomorrow's Cyber Monday. Lifestyle writer Trey Baj says some stores might even have more options than Black Friday.
The difference may be that they're a little bit broader. So with apparel deals, if we saw a certain percentage off sweaters or pajamas on Black Friday, we might see a site-wide deal.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for mainly clear skies tonight, seasonably chilly with lows 30 to 35. Good deal of sunshine for tomorrow. Nice in the afternoon, mild with a high 62. Clear and mild for tomorrow night, lows 40 to 45. Breezy and warmer Monday, mostly sunny, high near 70. Nice and warm with some sun Tuesday, high again 70. I'm meteorologist Frank Streit for FM News Talk 97.1.
Trade up at Sontrop.
When you trade up to a new Nissan, you trade up to a tremendous deal.
Dump that old car and get into a new Nissan at Great Sontrop Savings. Black Friday lasts all month long with low lease payments on all remaining 2017 Altimas. Now just $177 a month, or get a Sontrop Central lease for $127 a month.
And you can get both with just $17 down.
Trading up at Sontrop has never been easier.
We won't waste your time, and we'll give you more for your trade.
At Sontrop Nissan, we work hard to get you approved for credit. Just talk to the Sontrop Super Crew, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you the credit you deserve.
We know you work hard, and we'll work even harder to make it easy for you to get into a dependable new Nissan. So get in here and
trade up at Sontrop. Trade up at Sontrop.
Offers on approved credit for 6-month leases, $17 down plus $5.95 acquisition fee. No security deposit includes rebates and incentives. Also, then AC 221762, Centra VIN HY 374092. 2 or more of each of these prices plus detail on down to United Bank refinancing new loan.
Don't wait for Black Friday. Shop us right now at SunTropNissan.com.
Right now, BidOnline.STL.com is your place to save up to 70% on brand new items from this station's advertisers. It's your shopping destination for holiday gift ideas, wedding packages, furniture, vacations, Honda motorcycles, bed sets and mattresses, jewelry, even tattoo removal. Save up to 70%. Shop from area businesses like CarCraft, Carroll House, STL Sun Tan and Spa, Hoods, Dynamic Chiropractic, Travel House, and more. Right now, bid on items and services offered by our radio station's approved advertisers at BidOnline.STL.com.
Hey, if you want granite, won't you want to go to the place where the designers and the builders go? That's right, Aphrodite Granite, and now there is still time. You can order by 12/4 and still get everything for your family gathering. Let's face it, everyone gathers around the kitchen, and how about an Aphrodite Granite kitchen? That's right, all-size kitchens starting only $19.95. They install 50 kitchens a week because their prices and quality are the absolute best. AphroditeGranite.com.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Beyond all the hospitals and doctors and surgeries they need just to survive, they also deserve whatever they need to truly live. All the in-home care and day-to-day help they need to live independently, on their own terms. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs were established to provide these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence, at no cost, for life. So many of them need us, and it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
Hey guys, Glover here. Join us for the kickoff event to our Christmas food drive at Morch Royce Jewelry, Friday, December 1st, starting at 3 p.m., helping feed the hungry in the St. Louis area and drop off a canned good or non-perishable food item to benefit Operation Food Search. We'll have giveaways each hour, including Blues tickets, restaurant gift cards, and a gorgeous Tavan watch from Morch Royce Jewelry. Get all the details on the December 1st kickoff event at 971talk.com. The 2017 DGS Christmas Food Drive presented by Morch Royce Jewelry.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
And for all these athletes, take a knee. How about my foot in your ass? Thank God Trump did get elected.
The Tim Jones Show.
The media now has declared war on the very American people that put this president into office.
Donald Trump is the first president since Ronald Reagan that wasn't a candy ass. Thanks for being on the air for us. You got a great show.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
Hey, good evening. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. It was a full weekend. Ken and I lived it up large.
Literally.
Yeah. Yes, it was. I had a great weekend. This is one of my best Thanksgivings, I think. I've had many good ones, but this one was fun because I kind of did everything that I've done in different years at different times. So Wednesday night, I went to Guns N' Hoses.
Right.
And that was awesome. And then I hosted Allman in the Morning on Thanksgiving Day, which was fun. Tons of fun. It was here with Denise and Trish and KT. And we had Chief Belmar, Wiegand, and Brown in.
Right.
Who are big Guns N' Hoses backstoppers guys. And then we had, what else did I have? I had somebody else too. Oh, talked to Senator Jim Talent.
Right.
So it was a great Thanksgiving show. Then my brother, who lives in Louisville, my brother Ryan, and his wonderful wife Kim came in with their twins. Year and a half old, Dylan and Tori, and that was special. So my daughters got to play with the twins and all weekend. So we ate Thursday, then we ate again Friday at beautiful, cool little place in Eureka called Sarah's on Central, and I went to see my good buddies Tony and Carolyn at the Flat Creek Beer Store next door to me. I always talk about, and of course we're conveniently located out right there next to Odell's. I got my little Eureka office out there, so we call it Jones World Headquarters, WHQ. To all of you in the know, And then I played a little golf with my brother this weekend. So it was just
nice.
Got to do it all,
and great weather too. So.
Yeah, it was fantastic weather. And besides hosting the Allman Show and hosting my show, which I don't even consider work because it's fun. I enjoy doing this. I'm really blessed. It's really cool. I worked for my day job as well, which is also fun and something I love to do and hardly work, but hopefully they're not listening to me say that because I they'll be like, "Oh, you need some more work, huh?" No, I'm doing fine. I worked this weekend for them as well.
Oh, good.
And I want to talk about this event really fast. This is my public service announcement for the night, because I want to give thanks to so many people besides the ones I've already mentioned. My wonderful wife Suzanne and my daughters Katie and Abby and my parents and my brother and sister, and they're all their families. I'm thankful for all of them because they make life just so much more fun and great. But I also want to give thanks to our listeners, because our listeners stepped up huge this weekend. So I'm working on this little project for my main employer, the First Rule Media Network, who are incredible people, run by Travis Brown is our CEO, and Debbie Schneider is our COO, and Debbie's husband may be listening to me right now because Debbie says he never turns 97.1 off, which is great. We need more Allens,
Yeah.
And so we've been working on this event that we have every year. It's called the Sharing Fund, and I believe my next guest, Councilman Mark Harder, has been to that before, and I think he's coming in this year, and he may even be a sponsor of that. I think he agreed to do that. If not, I'm going to put him on the spot. Folks, go to thesharingfund.com. It's a great event. It's the 11th annual Snowflake celebration, and hey, we had the name Snowflake before it became maybe something else. It's a Christmas thing, okay? Christmas, snowflake, snowmen, all right? So forget about the snowflakes, So
I just love that name.
I know. So this is the Sharing Fund, and I was talking about this on Thursday on Thanksgiving morning, and I got a tweet from one of our listeners who heard me, and I won't give her name out because I don't know if she wants to be noted or not, but she said, I heard what you were saying about Snowflake, and I love 97.1. I love that you're on 97.1, and I loved the mission that you were talking about with this event you help do every year. So I'm going to be a $5,000 sponsor.
Wow.
I was like, what? I was like, how cool is that? The power of radio, right?
Awesome.
And then I just found out tonight, and I will say this because he's one of the main advertisers to this station for Allman in the Morning, and we just heard him actually on one of the lives he did. Rick Pogue and his dad, Jerry Pogue, the Pogue family of Arrowhead Building Supply, They just agreed to be $2,500 sponsors.
Awesome.
So Ken, I've raised $7,500 over the holiday weekend. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I think everybody at First Rule is happy about that too. So the Sharing Fund, folks, benefits two of our local charities that have been around a very, very, very long time, St. Vincent's Home for Children and Covenant House, Missouri. And it's called the Sharing Fund because we divide the money in half, and half goes to the Sharing Fund, or half goes to Covenant House, and half goes to St. Vincent's. And literally half. There's no overhead on this event because due to the extreme generosity, the incredible, overwhelming generosity of Dr. Jeannie and Rex Singfield, who do not get the credit that's due to them because of some of the things our horrid local media says about them, are two of the most generous people I've ever met in the world. And Rex's story is tremendous because he was in and out of St. Vincent's as a child. He's got an incredible story. I won't go into it now because it'll take me the rest of the show and then some. But those two individuals, those extremely generous individuals, underwrite the entire cost of this event. So go to thesharingfund.com. It is on Pearl Harbor Day this year. It's easy to remember. Thursday, December the 7th. It's at the Chase Park Plaza. Beautiful venue. There's no sit-down chicken dinner. It's 2.5 hours of networking, open bar, open food. You can go for as little as $75 a ticket, or you can be a $5,000 sponsor, or anything in between. So I just want to thank our incredible listeners, and especially also Rick Pogue and Jerry's dad and the Arrowhead Building Supply folks. Everybody for being so generous. We're going to raise, Ken, we're knocking on the door of raising over $100,000.
That's awesome.
For the children of St. Louis. So that's my PSA for the night.
Well, thank you to them.
Yeah, and thank you so much for everybody who helps. So, yeah, it's a season of thanks, right? And we were playing Christmas music because now we're in the Christmas season. But I do want to play. We're still in Thanksgiving weekend. And, you know, we were talking on the Almond in the Morning show the other day about how it's the one holiday that the commercialization people haven't figured out how to commercialize exactly yet, because I know that for a fact, because as soon as Halloween's over, which they've commercialized, on November 1st, you know, the pumpkins, the candles and the pumpkins haven't been blown out yet. We're already playing Christmas music and we're having to go to the mall and everybody's got to buy everything. So it's like we just skip Thanksgiving. Well, I want to play this little short clip because I found it over the weekend, and it's Linus presenting the story of Thanksgiving through his prayer.
Year 1621, the Pilgrims held their first Thanksgiving feast. They invited the great Indian chief, Massasoit, who brought 90 of his brave Indians and a great abundance of food. Governor William Bradford and Captain Miles Standish were honored guests. Elder William Brewster, who was a minister, said a prayer that went something like this: "We thank God for our homes and our food and our safety in a new land. We thank God for the opportunity to create a new world for freedom and justice. Amen."
Wonder if some of Senator Elizabeth Warren's predecessors were there.
I was going to get all emotional.
Sorry, I just ruined it.
And that's awesome. No, I'd rather you say
Ken was going to have a private moment with me. Yeah, I don't think you can do that, Ken, now anymore.
No,
you can't. We can't.
I might have been harassing you.
Yeah, you might. Harassing the webcam. Sorry, I just had to say that. No, that's right. Wait, I'm confused. She's not a Native American, right?
No, right.
She just pretended to be one.
Correct.
That's why Trump calls her Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, right.
Anyway, so isn't that cool? I mean, who can beat the Peanuts, right? I mean, their Christmas special is probably one of my favorite ever.
Oh, it's classic.
And we will play, not tonight, because it's still a little early, but we'll get a little closer. We will play Linus giving the story of Christmas, which does make me a little emotional. It really does. That whole thing where he's like, you know, like the angels and, you know, God bless the Peanuts. Charles Schultz was brilliant. Oh, yeah. This week, I told you, is going to be a big week in Washington, D.C., because this is going to be the push for tax cuts now. And I told you in the first hour, if you missed it, President Donald J. Trump is coming to the St. Louis region on Wednesday. He's going to be here. I can't give you the specifics yet because they're not confirmed, so they could change. But I talked to my sources in the White House, and I have them. And they said, yes, he is coming. So unless something, hey, if something, like, you know, and knock on wood, nothing happens bad this week. But if, you know, if there's, you know, if the crazy little fat man over in North Korea does something weird or whatever, you know, he may not be able to come to the Midwest. But the president is planning on coming to the St. Louis region, because this is the week that the Senate is going to have the tax cut bill on the Senate floor. and hopefully Susan Collins and her 54 problems can be taken care of. Or if they can't, hopefully everybody else stays in the boat, and Congress realizes that they were elected to do something. Because they haven't done a whole lot yet this year.
And that would be amazing to everyone listening.
Yes. Everyone listening. I know our listeners for sure are hardworking, tax-paying Missourians, many who have their own small businesses that will absolutely benefit. You can go online and find the nonpartisan sources on this. I'm going to tell you one. Go to Heritage. Go to heritage.org and see what they say about the tax cut bill. Go to Americans for Tax Reform. We had Grover Norquist on, I believe it was a week or two ago.
Right.
Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform. Go to atr.org. Look at that. Go to taxcutsnow.com. My friends at the Job Creators Network are wonky people. They're brilliant people, but they're wonky people, and they have dived into this sucker so you don't have to, and they're going to give you all the information so you don't have to read a 200 or 300 page bill or whatever. They're going to give you the analysis of what's in it. Even like the some of the nonpartisan bureaucrats have given this thing a true rating, that it's going to cut taxes for nearly every taxpayer. Now, if you're not a taxpayer, it's not going to cut your taxes because you don't pay taxes, okay? But for the taxpayers of this country, that's what the left use. They use that language all the time. So let's remember what a great Democrat, and I don't know if I've ever used those words together in recent memory, but a great Democratic leader once said about what tax cuts would do for this country.
Tax rates are too high today, and tax revenues are too low. And the soundest way to raise the revenues in the long run is to cut the rates now. And the reason is that only full employment can balance the budget, and tax reduction can pave the way to that employment. The purpose of cutting taxes now is not to incur a budget deficit, but to achieve the more prosperous, expanding economy, which can bring a budget surplus.
That was what the leader of the Democratic Party once stood for. I haven't heard any Democrat utter words anywhere near that, but that was John Fitzgerald Kennedy, old Jack Kennedy, President Kennedy. And I don't know that he could belong to that party that he belonged to back then now. I don't know that he could. He'd probably be, I'm not going to say he's going to be Rand Paul, right, in this day and age, but he's probably going to be, like a Lindsey Graham, right? Hopefully not as annoying as Lindsey Graham, but like a Lindsey Graham, kind of Republican, probably fiscally conscious, fiscally conservative, and a war hawk, So, and Ken was going to get emotional earlier on the Linus prayer, but Orrin Hatch got very emotional this past week. I don't know if you guys caught this because you may have been preparing the turkey and doing important family stuff, but Orrin Hatch let it loose on Senator Sherrod Brown. Senator Sherrod Brown, I don't know if you know who he is. He's kind of a card. He's kind of a cut up a little bit. He's a funny guy. But he did something really mean to Orrin Hatch. They were wrapping up the Senate hearing on the tax cut bill, and they were getting ready to vote. Well, Senator Brown, I guess, is the ranking member. So he basically slams Hatch at the end. It was a very unfair. It was in boxing, you'd call it a blow below the belt. It was really unfair. And Hatch, who is the ultimate gentleman, if you followed Orrin Hatch's career, he's the Utah gentleman. Very reserved, kind of austere kind of a guy, very polite. And this was what you're going to hear next was really out of character, but I think in a good way, because he showed a lot of passion here, and he really put the Democrats back in their place on what they're really doing with this whole message on why Americans should not get tax cuts. So here's Senator Hatch.
From the poor people. And I've been here working my whole stinking career for people who don't have a chance. And I really resent anybody saying that I'm just doing this for the rich. Give me a break. I think you guys overplay that all the time, and it gets old. And frankly, you ought to quit it.
Mr. Chairman, the public...
I'm not through. Okay. I get kind of sick and tired of it. True, it's a nice political play.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
not true.
With all due respect, I get sick and tired of the richest people
Regular
in the
order,
country
Mr. Chairman.
getting richer and
Regular order.
richer. We do a tax
Regular order.
Middle class
Wait a minute.
Regular order.
and over and over again.
Wait just
How many
a second.
times do we do this before we learn this?
Listen, I've honored you by allowing you to start off here. And what you said was not right. That's all I'm saying. I come from the lower middle class originally. We didn't have anything. So don't spew that stuff on me. I get a little tired of that crap. And let me just say something. If we work together, we could pull this country out of every mess it's in. And we could do a lot of the things that you're talking about, too. And I think I've got a reputation of having worked together with Democrats.
Let's start with Chip.
I think if Hatch could have gone over and put him in a headlock and given him a noogie, he would have. I mean, that was awesome.
A nice meme there.
That was awesome. So, joining me now in studio, we're going to get to him fully in the next hour, but is St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder. Oh, he brings his own audience.
I almost hit it.
My audience is louder than yours.
Well, they're on the different side of the room.
That's true. That's true.
I'm on the right side.
Hey, do you think Senator Hatch had a point there? It's like these Democrats these days, they are so angry that President Trump is president that they're just going to obstruct. If he found the cure for cancer tomorrow, they would vote no.
Oh yeah, I think they want to obstruct even if they doesn't mean anything. It's crazy. I don't know how they keep their sanality, some of them in D.C. today, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be on your show.
Absolutely. Hey, let me take Judah here real fast. Let me take that. Judah, hey, welcome to the Tim Jones Show.
I heard you just saying about the comments that I think they need to go home. If you look at the 16th Amendment, it was never ratified. If you look at the whole tax structure, anybody that's not talking about getting rid of the Federal Reserve is a traitor. I've never trusted the left or the right, the Democrats or the Republicans. So, and I know you was part of it. So, and one thing I want to tell you is you need to study the Council on Foreign Relations to get an idea of how our government has been infiltrated. You have a nice day, my brother.
Hey, thank you, Judah. Well, I agree with Judah on the Federal Reserve thing. That's a big problem. The Federal Reserve has really gotten out of hand, and that's something where the right and the left have actually come together on. So County Councilman Harder, did you have a good Thanksgiving? We're going to go to a break here, but we're going to come back to you. So, did you have a good Thanksgiving? First of all,
had a great Thanksgiving. Spent some time over in Illinois with some new relatives, soon to be in our family, and had a great time. And I want to say that I want to compliment your makeup person today. Got me through the makeup real quick before the show, so I wasn't late.
We have an incredible green room on Sunday nights too, don't we?
It's amazing.
The spread is unbelievable.
Except the M&Ms are now W's, so I'm not sure where you're getting those.
Do you enjoy the turkey carcass in there?
You got to get a proofreader for your M&Ms.
Yes.
So it's crazy in here.
We'll be back with more stand-up with Councilman Mark Harder and Jones right after this. Here on the Tim Jones Show. Tip your waitresses on FM News Talk 97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show
These Trump fans, they're hardcore.
on FM News Talk 97.1.
Mark Cox here. I want to tell you about the Next Radio app. It's now available for all smartphones. It's the free app that allows you to listen to live local FM radio on your phone. You can download it now in the App Store and Google Play Store. Next Radio is an affiliate of FM News Talk 97.1.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer, arrowheadbuildingsupply.com.
If you're like me, you were probably sitting around talking to your spouse, significant other over the weekend about finances, right? That's what you do over the long holiday weekend. You start wondering if you have everything in place or not. Hey, I talked to my good friend John Stobbs. He called into Allman in the morning the other morning, and we talked about a lot of things around this holiday season. One of the things you probably need to get in line is your retirement. Is it ready to go or not? If you're a baby boomer, you're probably either thinking about retiring, you may be in the middle of retiring, you may be in retirement, and do you have an advisor who's keeping you informed, welcoming your questions, requesting annual meetings? With the S&P at record highs, do you have an understandable plan in up markets? How about when the market's going to probably, kick back at some point? Call John Stobbs or Jeannie Seabaugh over at Convergent Wealth Management, convergentwm.com, convergentwm.com, 636-536-1800, 636-536-1800. Their wealth for the way.
Radio moves
Radio breathes. Radio never sleeps. And Next Radio keeps up. It goes where you go, so you never miss a beat. It's live, it's local, it's a connection. A shared experience, just you and your radio. And a couple million people, give or take. Next Radio keeps up. You thought that phone couldn't get any smarter? Well, it got simpler. It got leaner. It's got your back. And it'll keep you moving, winning, in the know. And it'll get you where you want to go. All in the palm of your hand. Next Radio. Live and local, wherever you go.
Listen to your favorite FM stations with the free Next Radio app. Live and local, wherever you go. Download the free Next Radio app today.
All right, Massa's Restaurant. Been around a long, long time. 50 years, kind of like Casey in a way, and they have 5 locations. If you know anything about the restaurant business, probably the toughest business there is. You've seen restaurants that you think were doing great, and you drive by, and all of a sudden they're a produce stand the next week. Massa's continues to grow with more locations. 5 locations. They're all over the place. They serve some of the best Italian. They serve great steaks and seafood. If you're trying to watch your weight, you can go in and get their house salad that is outstanding and make a meal out of their salad. Great pizza. Of course, everything's available to go if you want to do that too. And with 5 locations, pretty much any direction you go, you're going to find great, great food. I got an idea. A gift card will make a great idea, a great gift for someone. You know they're going to use it, and once they try it one time, they're going to be hooked just like you've been over the years. Again, there's 5 locations. The best way to find out the hours and locations is Google them. Go to Massa's, MASSA''S, Massa's. It's Massa's, of course.
St. Patrick's Center is a leader in ending homelessness. We've provided housing support to nearly 2,200 clients and their families this year. That's a lot of lives improved. 600 of those were new housing placements. Ending homelessness requires resources. Half of our funding comes from the generosity of St. Louis area individuals and businesses. Please continue to invest in St. Patrick's Center. Your gift changes a life. Donate at stpatrickcenter.org or call 314-802-0700.
I love being a part of Action Team.
For more than a decade, Major League Baseball players and action teams of high school students have been working together to train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
All-stars Giancarlo Stanton and Chris Capuano join Action Team captains to make a difference in their communities.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
For more information, go to actionteam.org.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Hey folks, Mark Cox here. We want you to join us in thanking first responders all this month. Each day we're going to recognize area police, fire, and EMT units to show support for what they do in the community. We want to raise awareness and say thank you for the difficult job they do every day. Listen to the show for the daily spotlight on our first responders. We encourage you to show your appreciation by donating to Responder Rescue. It's a locally based organization giving assistance to responders in need. Go to 971talk.com for more information and see how you can help.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Do you think that the Democrats will actually win next time? And who would they put up?
Oh my Lord.
That's
a good question.
Yeah.
Well, because if they ran today, if the election were next week, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump won again. Right. For the lack of courage and direction in the Democratic Party.
But
who are they?
But they're not courageous, Mike. They're courageous. They just don't have enough. They don't have somebody with the charisma and with the when Michelle Obama goes, when they go low, we go high. I think the Democrats have to go a little lower now and start to talk the way Donald Trump talks a little bit. Speaking directly to the population and not couching it in mumbo jumbo and wonky talk.
I don't
Go
disagree.
right for the heart of the conversation, and you will see how many people go out and vote for them.
All right.
I think I'll run.
Joy.
Yeah, good grief. That was the brilliant Joy Behar. She does have one thing right. The reason Trump won, because he talked directly to the people and didn't let the left-wing lunatic media be his filter. But the problem with Joy Behar's statement is, what would the message be, Joy? What would the Democrats say directly to the people?
And how low can they go?
Yeah, what's this low thing? So Joy Behar is saying that when you talk directly to the people, that's going low. I'm sorry that we don't have our pinkies up at the Upper East Side cocktail parties. Folks, I've been to some I was on Upper West Side. I lived in New York for 10 years. I went to some cocktail parties in Manhattan. They're not that great, okay? It's a bunch of fake people putting on fake airs, saying fake things, Not all of them. There's some great New Yorkers. I have some great friends up there, but just the whole thing of, ew, don't ever go west of the Hudson. That's flyover country. There's icky people out there. They're like hillbillies and rednecks and stuff, Yeah. The reason, and you know what was funny about that clip was, so that was the morning clown show known as Morning Joe, and the only person who made any sense, Joy Behar made a little bit of sense in there because she didn't realize she was making sense. She doesn't want to know the dirty truth of it. The dirty truth of it is, yeah, the Democrats could possibly do better next time if they talk directly to the people, because Hillary didn't. She avoided Wisconsin and she ignored the blue-collar folks, and that's why they voted for Trump. That's their dirty little secret.
Yep.
Secondly, though, what would they say? What would be their message? Give us more of your money so we can spend it on more crap, I guess?
And that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. So the only one that made sense, really, was Mike Barnicle. That was Mike Barnicle, who was like, well, Mike Barnicle was the one speaking truth to power there. He was like, who are they going to run? I love how the media largely focuses on the dysfunction in the Republican Party, which, okay, there's plenty of it. But at least we know how to win elections by telling people the right policy that we should be pursuing as a country. We didn't win it because we're like the most brilliant politicians in the world. We had a guy at the top of the ticket who finally taught us how to speak directly to people, something I always tried to do as speaker. I was pre-Trump, I guess. And I got in trouble for speaking directly to the people, too. But that's what the people want to hear. They don't want to hear a bunch of malarkey anymore. They're tired of politicians. They're tired of secret slush funds to pay sexual harassment claims. They're tired of an IRS building that stretches for 7 city blocks in Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
Tired of all of it.
Yep.
Someone who's not going to take it anymore is County Councilman Mark Harder, right?
I beat you.
Let you borrow my studio audience.
Yes, they are great this evening.
Yes.
Very, very, very upbeat audience.
Yes, they are. So Mark Harder.
Well, wait first. I didn't bring you any whiskey tonight.
That's okay. We still let you in the door.
Because when I went to Quick Trip, their house brand was out. So I couldn't pick up any for you tonight, but maybe next time, maybe a little airline bottle of your Quick Trip whiskey.
That would be fine. Bring a straw.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you you get involved with the Backstoppers people, right? And Guns and Hoses and all that kind of stuff?
Great organization. And one of our councilmen on the council is very... Pat Dolan is very involved with that group and spends a lot of time with them, raises money, and they raised a boatload of money a couple of days ago and sold out crowd. And I don't know what our police force would do without Backstoppers.
It's wonderful. I know you're very involved with the county police, and I had Chief John Belmar in here on Thanksgiving Day. Very good of him to come in and spend a little time with us on his holiday. Yeah, he's fantastic. Hey, want to ask you about something that I've been wondering about. I think you and I talked about this 6 months ago. What is up with the whole U-City trolley boondoggle dealie? I mean, is that still around?
Unfortunately,
this guy brought his own stinger box. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, the last news articles that came out dealt with they call Joe's Folly, and what they're talking about is they want another $500,000 so they can actually open the trolley, and they keep testing it, running it up and down the street to see if it
How much have they spent so far on this trolley?
About $51 million.
How much of that was taxpayer funds?
$51 million.
You are kidding me.
In some form or another.
We could have built a Hyperloop to Kansas City by now, right?
Yes, we could have.
$51 million on a freaking trolley that goes in a circle?
Yes, 2.25 miles. It's about $21 million a mile.
What a bargain.
Yeah, I mean, we could have rebuilt Lambert Airport for that.
Oh my gosh, Mark, I seriously, this wasn't a setup. I did not know the number was that high.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
And they want how much more?
They want another $500,000. They came back last year and asked the county for $3 million, and reluctantly, some folks on the board, not me, but 4 others on the board reluctantly gave them the $3 million. And 3 of us voted against it, thought it was a big waste of time and a waste of money. And so now that didn't seem to satisfy the beast. Now we have he's coming back for another $500,000, saying that he needs this amount to get the trolley up and running and build, buy new signs and all that kind of stuff. So it's just ridiculous. It's a huge boondoggle. I've spoken out against it for a long time, and I just can't take it anymore. He hasn't come to us officially. He's come to us through the media. And so it's going to get voted down if he does, and I think he needs to find a different sugar daddy for his money.
Good grief. I mean, that's just unbelievable.
$51 million.
It needs to be on one of the national shows. John Stossel, would probably be fascinated by that.
Oh, yeah, if it ever opens up.
Right. So, hey, on another note, we did pass, we as in the, plurality we, the Prop P. St. Louis County voters passed Prop P. And why don't you remind everybody again, how was that? What was the campaign on that?
Prop P was a campaign put together by our county executive, Steve Stanger, and it talked about raising money through a sales tax, half cent, to go to our police forces within St. Louis County and all the municipalities, and to be divided up based on population, and for that, we're getting raises for the county police and new training and more equipment and things that we were desperately in need of. And we were losing about 2 officers a pay period to other municipalities and counties surrounding us because of our pay structure was inadequate. So now we have the money to give those pay raises to them and to make them closer to the average or a little bit above average, not being higher than, but closer to the average to surrounding police forces, so we can slow down the attrition and give them the pay raises that they needed to be competitive in the region. And
the concern with these things is always, is the money going to go for what the campaign says it's going to go for?
Yeah,
how do you feel? Do you think it's going to? Do you think there's still some concern about that? Is there precautions put in place?
When it was first passed, that was my main concern, because I've seen this in government, is that you have a big inflow of taxes, and if you don't designate that money or protect it in some way, it goes into the general fund, which means it can be divided among all different services and all different departments. And so what I did just recently is I passed an ordinance and got 4 of my colleagues to go with me on this. But we passed this ordinance that basically says that this money is now protected in our budget as a line item in our budget for Prop P. So it's protected on the income side, and it's also protected on the outgo or the expense side, so that regular citizens like you and me can go in and track this and see exactly what this money is being spent for. Because in past, when different governments have created these type of bond issues or tax increases, the money usually didn't go to where it was supposed to go.
Right.
And we talk about the lottery and talk about casinos and that kind of thing. So by doing this protection, it's very transparent and people can see exactly where this money is going. It's barely started coming in because we just had 2 months of this year that the money will start coming in.
Gotcha.
And where we'll get our big hit on this is next year, towards the middle to end of next year, where we'll see the big chunk of the money that we anticipate coming in.
Sounds like some good government may break out. My goodness.
Yeah.
Holy cow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He's County Councilman Mark Harder. He's going to be back with me after our short little break here to help me wrap up the show. We're going to talk about the budget. It's county budget time. I've also got some more stuff from Alan Dershowitz on how Mueller is going way beyond the scope of his investigation. And this Uranium One deal, folks, it's going to be bigger than the mainstream media wants you to believe. It's Tim Jones. You're listening to The Tim Jones Show. We're here every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Follow me at Speaker Tim Jones on Facebook or Twitter. We'll be back with more after this.
This is The Tim Jones Show.
I have to tell my kids that I'm a rock star now.
On FM News Talk 97.1. Join Jamie Allman for a special happy hour event with the Heritage Foundation, Thursday, November 30th at Cyberg's on Dorset, with a panel discussion on tax relief for the American people and how it benefits Missouri families. Details and register for this free event at 971talk.com.
Don't let a flooded basement ruin your holidays. Is your basement protected against groundwater intrusion from heavy rains or snowmelt, which increases pressure on basement floors and walls? If you already have cracks in your basement floors or walls, it won't be long before water finds its way in, causing property damage, mold and mildew, and creating an unhealthy environment for you and your family. What are you waiting for? Call the basement experts at Midwest Basement Tech for a guaranteed solution on how to protect your basement against water intrusion. Our estimates are free and save 10% on all orders placed before January 1st. We service the complete St. Louis metro area with certified technicians available to service any type of foundation problem your home may have. Family owned for 40 years. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Need sump pump service or backup protection against power outages? We do that too. Call now to schedule your free estimate at 800-848-9805. That's 800-848-9805. Or visit us at MidwestBasementTech.com.
Hey ladies, want to make sure you get that perfect piece of jewelry this holiday season? Something you'll know you'll absolutely love?
And guys, do you want to get her something that's 100% guaranteed home run gift with an easy, fast, no-pressure shopping experience?
Introducing the Diamonds Direct Holiday Wish List, a high-tech way to ensure all smiles on Christmas morning.
Ladies, just go into Diamonds Direct now. Shop around in our gorgeous showroom. Pick out a few items that you'd love to have, maybe a bracelet, pair of earrings, or a piece of designer fashion jewelry. And we'll put all the info on our electronic wish list.
Then, guys, when you come in, we'll be able to guide you to the items she likes, and you can easily pick the one you want to give her. It's easy, simple, and risk-free.
Of course, there's still an element of surprise, but it's a guaranteed good surprise.
Diamonds Direct, making holiday jewelry shopping easier than ever. The holiday wish list at Diamonds Direct now.
Also, check out our online holiday gift guide. It's a great place to start. You'll find it now at diamondsdirect.com, where you can also get directions, details on special financing and holiday hours. Diamonds Direct.
Waiting for Black Friday to get the best buy on a new car just doesn't make sense. At Suntrup Kia, we'll give you the same great savings all month long.
Now at Suntrup Kia, it's no-nonsense November. You don't have to wait to save on a new Kia Forte from $13,996. Or lease a new 17 Sorento for $259 a month with just $1 down. Or you can select 0% financing on all in-stock 2017 Kias.
Don't wait for Black Friday. At Suntrup, we got savings all month long.
Buy a new Suntrup Kia Soul for $12,859. Or lease a 2018 Sportage for $239 a month with just $1 down.
We know you're busy this time of year, and we'll get you in and out of our Kia dealerships in no time. It's the easiest process you'll ever have.
Suntrup Kia South on Lindbergh or Suntrup West on Manchester and Baldwin.
We'll make it a November to remember, so get in here now and
trade up at Suntrup.
Lease with approved credit, 10K miles per year plus $10 dock fee, $650 acquisition fee extra after all available incentives. VIN number Sportage 339764, Sorento 33908.
Find out how easy it is. Shop us online at suntrupkia.com.
Right now, BidOnline.stl.com is your place to save up to 70% on brand new items from this station's advertisers. It's your shopping destination for holiday gift ideas, wedding packages, furniture, vacations, Honda motorcycles, bed sets and mattresses, jewelry, even tattoo removal. Save up to 70%. Shop from area businesses like Overhead Door, Ted's Motorcycle World, Ankle and Foot Institute, Southern Armory, The Diamond Shop, and more. Right now, bid on items and services offered by our radio station's approved advertisers at BidOnline.stl.com.
During the holiday season, you can make a donation in honor of a friend or family member. Just log on to heatupstlouis.org and help a senior, disabled, or poor person with their heating bills. This is Melanie DeLeo.
When you log on to heatupstlouis.org, our Gift of Warmth project ensures that 100% of your donation goes towards servicing the needy and not office expenses. This is Reverend Early Nance Jr.
During this holiday season, please remember that need has no geographic boundaries. Please give online to heatupstlouis.org today.
We have a circle of liberty around us.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
Whomever we are, wherever we are.
Mark Levin.
We have unalienable rights. Those are the laws of nature and nature's God.
Mark Levin.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Sean, I mean, there's over 5,000 documents, which include emails, briefs, other documentation, memorandums that the informant had turned over to the FBI and Justice Department. And within these documents, it's very evident of Russia's intentions to enter the American market, energy market, and their intentions to acquire uranium-1.
Yeah, that was Sarah Carter. And she's been all over this real Russian collusion story. And that's with the Clinton crime family and the uranium-1 deal. And John Solomon of The Hill. And The Hill is not some right-wing rag. I mean, The Hill takes turns going after Republicans and Democrats. And so Sarah Carter there explains to you the fact that Russia's been trying to get into our uranium pockets for a long time. And apparently the Clinton crime family was more than happy to let them just dive right in. So John Solomon of The Hill explains now this connection between the Clintons and this whole uranium-1 scandal that the mainstream media is suppressing.
Yeah, you know, Sarah just said something about the importance of the dominance of the uranium market. This is an email that the FBI's had for 6 years. It shows that uranium-1 was part of a Russia strategy to control, not just benefit from the global market, control the global market. That would put the United States at a disadvantage. That's the sort of evidence that this FBI informant has right now. And if you go back, last week we heard several things from the Justice Department. There's no connection to uranium-1. These are emails that say uranium-1 that are in the FBI files. They said that there was no connection between the uranium-1 case and the criminal case. We now know the criminal case got its first evidence in 2009, a whole year before the uranium-1 deal was approved by the Obama administration. There are a lot of things that people have been saying that these documents simply don't agree with.
Exactly. And so that's what the media, the mainstream liberal media, should really be focusing on. But instead, you know, we're over a year now into this fake Russia collusion thing with the Trump campaign. They've got no smoking guns, no evidence, all circumstantial, based on, not even circumstantial, it's largely made up. And, you know, we've got Mueller now going down this rabbit hole like everybody said they would do. You know, Obama did one really smart thing. He never appointed a special prosecutor for anything in 8 years. And why the Republicans never forced his hands on that is beyond me, because there were so many things he could have appointed, he could have been forced to appoint a special prosecutor on. And, you know, we had Congress for, I don't know why that never happened. You know, but, well, Obama controlled his DOJ, and he just didn't let, Benghazi, Fast and Furious. I mean, the IRS scandal targeting conservative groups. There's three huge. There's three huge ones right there. And I know there's actually a list out there of like 20 things that could have had a special prosecutor on, but Obama was smart enough to control his DOJ and not let that happen. So meanwhile, we got Mueller going down this rabbit hole, and liberal law professor Alan Dershowitz agrees with me. So you got a right-left alliance here in the fact that Mueller is gone way beyond the scope of his parameters of this investigation.
Worrying. I think it shows that Mueller is going well beyond his authority as a prosecutor and is trying to make a case that the president might have engage in obstruction of justice by engaging in constitutionally protected act. The president is entitled to fire the head of the FBI. The president's entitled to direct his attorney general who to investigate, who not to. That's what the law has been since Thomas Jefferson directed his attorney general to go after Aaron Burr. If we want to change it, we should change it by legislation or constitutional amendment, but you can't change the law by having a prosecutor make a crime out of something that's a constitutionally protected act.
Yeah, they don't like the things that are happening right now because they don't like the fact that Donald Trump is president. That's all that it comes down to. None of this stuff ever came out during the 8 years of Obama, despite the fact that Obama abused executive authority and power more than any other president before him. You had all these scandals going on. Now they're coming to a fore because Obama and Lois Lerner and Eric Holder are not there to protect the Clintons anymore. And so I really hope they dig into this Uranium One scandal because I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, and the media is not going to be able to ignore it. Hannity's all over it, and some other commentators are as well. So, hey, County Councilman Mark Harder, we told him his segment was over, but he's still in the studio. So,
Am I leaving?
I don't want to.
I think that's a push out.
Don't want to hurt his feelings, but no, teasing. Hey, Mark, I kept you here because you told me you have an announcement to make. Would you like to make this announcement now? We have a few minutes left here.
Are we going to talk budgets first?
Let's talk budget. We'll leave everybody hanging on the edge of their seats.
Okay.
There's going to be a big announcement in a second, but it is December this week, and that means it's budget time for the county council.
It is budget time for the county council as well as a lot of municipalities, and the St. Louis County is not any different. What we've been doing recently has been delving into the budget the way it was presented to us by the county executive, which is his part of the charter recommendation. He makes his recommendation to us. We are having meetings last month and this coming month, and then we will vote on each department's budget come the end of November or December. And if we can't come to an agreement on the budgets, then we'll hold those budgets over till next year. And this year is the first time the council has really pushed back on the budgets and really delved in and gone deep on some of the expenses because we're facing a possible deficit coming up here soon. And we want to make sure that we can smooth that deficit out, if not eliminate it. And so we're trying to spend a lot of extra time figuring out where we can make cuts in our county budget and see if there's services that can be combined or other things that we can do to make it a better budget.
Does the county have any kind of balanced budget requirement mechanism? Is it in the charter? Do you guys just do it if you can? I mean, what's the story there?
No, actually, in our charter, we have a budget. The county council, the county executive has to present a balanced budget to us.
Okay.
So that's where we start every year. Now, sometimes it's balanced by the end of the year. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes we have a surplus. And in the past, we've had some surpluses, and then that usually rolled into the next year and paid some of the deficits in the next year. So it's just constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul sometimes in the budgets based on the economy as a whole. But our budgets have actually been going down because our revenue throughout the county has been going down.
Why is that?
Well, a lot of it is changing in retail patterns. Most of our tax that comes into the county proper for the county government functions is based on sales tax, and more people are going online and going to Amazon and going wherever. And so every one of those nickel and dime transactions and dollars and $100 transactions are coming in less on the sales tax side of it. So, and then also we were in a reassessment year, so all of the reassessment rates have been reduced because the value of the homes went up. And you know how that we do that every 2 years because of the Hancock Amendment. We either change the rate up or down, or we in relation to how the assessments are coming in.
And growth would solve a lot of these issues.
It would, and we've grown a little bit out of our budget issues because the economy's good, thanks to Trump and other things. But there are some issues that are lagging behind, and especially in some of our poorer areas, the assessments have not been as high. So. Because the value of the property has not gone up as great as other areas.
Well, we got 2 minutes left, so you have an announcement you'd like to make tonight.
I have an announcement on the Tim Jones Show here tonight that I am going to seek and will run for re-election for next year for our County Councilman District 7.
Wonderful. Yeah, see, our audience even likes that. Yeah. So are you telling me you've been in county council for almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years next January.
I feel like you just got elected yesterday.
It does. It feels like it. I've had a lot of fun. It's been a great experience. I've learned
Well, you've
a
worked
lot.
really hard. Let me just say that. In all we have a lot of fun, you and I do, but in all seriousness, you've worked really hard. I've seen you more than any previous councilman for our area. You are my county councilman, and you're everywhere doing everything, and you really took this seriously.
And I think so, and I think I've probably done more in that area than my predecessors, and I've gotten involved because I was locally involved in municipalities,
right.
So that's kind of my sweet spot. So I've been involved in Eureka and Baldwin and Ellisville and Chesterfield.
Well, good deal.
That's all.
I got to wrap us up. Do you have a website or anything people can check out?
You can go to my
Facebook page,
St. Louis County District 7 Facebook page, or you can look me up, Mark Harder, on Facebook as well, and look at what's going on in District 7.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate
you.
it. We had a great show. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Andrew. And always want to thank my folks, without whom I would not be here talking to you all here tonight. And, of course, my lovely wife is the most patient woman in the state of Missouri, and my two lovely daughters, Katie and Abby. Be home soon, ladies. Thank you all very much for making my year. To all of our great listeners out there, I am so thankful to all of you for helping us have this incredible station with this incredible show, and keep listening. We'll be back here next Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Jamie will be back in the morning with Almond in the Morning here at FM News Talk 97.1.
The Tim Jones Show.
When it comes to saving and managing your hard-earned money, you need a cohesive strategy. Randy Tobler here for my friends at Convergent Wealth Management. It's more than picking investments. It's about active financial design and effective execution of that plan. The experts at Convergent Wealth Management are fully licensed to meet any financial need. They're a full-service CPA firm, an independent insurance firm, an independent registered investment advisor. As a fiduciary, they're fully committed to the interests of their clients, not banks or brokerage firms. They're a faith-based organization driven by values, the same values you live by. All services are included in a single fee, unlike brokerage firms who operate on commissions. They're conveniently located in Chesterfield, and they'll meet with you for a free consultation when you mention my name, Randy Tobler. Schedule your consultation today at convergentwm.com. That's convergentwm.com. Or call 636-536-1800. 636-536-1800. Convergent Wealth Management. Wealth for the way.
Contractors, meeting with your customers can be difficult. Making time to actually sit down and go over product and color selections is tough when your suppliers close by 5 p.m. every day. Only Arrowhead Building Supply has your solution. We've built mind-blowing, beautiful showrooms that are professional and convenient. We now have new store hours until 8 p.m. weekdays and noon on Saturdays. Arrowhead has also built private contractor presentation rooms for you. These feature large LED televisions and product video libraries, so you can show your customers how products will look and what to expect. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
Hiring is important, but finding the right people can be a real challenge. That's why ZipRecruiter is obsessed with finding you qualified candidates fast. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds candidates with the right experience, then alerts the most qualified ones to apply for your job as soon as you post it. You can even add screening questions to your job post, narrowing your focus to only relevant applicants, saving you time. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident that ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.